Dear students, in this lecture, we will discuss about the process of parturition. Parturition is the process of giving birth to fully developed fetus after completion of gestation period. Gestation period is the period in which, or you can say it is the total time taken by the fetus for its complete growth and development, and this is near about 280 days or 9 months period in case of human beings. Here I have shown position of this fetus, fully grown fetus in this uterine cavity, and you can see that it is surrounded by a number of layers here. First of all, let's see this black lining which is covering this fetus or surrounding this fetus. It is actually the outermost extra embryonic membrane known as chorion, and you can see that finger-like projections which are known as chorionic villi are emerging from this layer, and they have embedded themselves in this lining of uterus. Then there is a cavity which is filled with a liquid. This cavity, the amniotic cavity, and the liquid is known as amniotic fluid, in which this fetus is floating. You can also see that there is a tube-like structure which is in connection with this tissue, which is actually a bridge-like structure known as the placenta. A part of this tissue is made up of the decidua bacillis, means the maternal part, and a part is contributed by the fetal extra embryonic membrane, that is the chorion. Means this villi embedded in this decidua, they are forming a disc-like structure. This disc-like structure known as placenta. And to this placenta there is emerging a tube-like structure known as umbilical cord. This is the cord-like structure or the tube-like structure through which the blood vessels are in connection with the fetal body, and through this tube all the nutrition or the gases or anything that the maternal and fetal blood are having in exchange, they are going to pass through this tubular structure, the umbilical cord. Then there is this layer that I have told you that this is the temporary formed endometrium known as decidua bacillis. Decidua bacillis is in direct connection with the chorionic villi or the chorion membrane, but this decidua bacillis is also covering the exterior part of this chorion here also. So this covering decidua is known as decidua capsularis. It is covering this embryonic structure here, and there is again a thickened layer here also, uterus. At peripheral part of this uterus, there is decidua parietalis. When this fetus was in its growing stage, in initial stages of its development, then there was a space in between the capsularis layer and the decidua parietalis layer. But because this is uterus showing the fully grown fetus which has been enlarged, which has accommodated a large number of space in this uterus cavity, that's why there is no space in between decidua capsularis or decidua parietalis. Both the layers are fused with each other. Here a little space is left in this uterus. You can also see that cervix, which is having opening in uterus and one opening in the vagina, it is filled with mucus plug. Why it is filled with mucus plug? Because to avoid very little or no disturbances in this uterine cavity because of the external environment. Because the vagina is in direct connection with the external genitalia, that's why there should not be any disturbances during the growth and developmental period of this fetus in this uterus cavity. That's why it has been actually a sort of plug, or you can say that entry of anything in this uterine cavity has mucus plug. So let's have a look how the parturition is going to take place now. This fetus has completed its gestation period and it is ready to be expelled outside from this body. The parturition process is actually a neuroendocrine mechanism. Why I am saying neuroendocrine mechanism? Because it involves participation of nervous system as well as that of hormonal system. That's why it is a sort of neuroendocrine mechanism. Now, very interesting thing that when this fetus has to take birth, then the signals are arised for its own parturition process, for its own expulsion. They arise from this fetus itself. The fetus and this placenta, this disc-like structure, these two structures, they start secretion of fetal ejection factors. These are the special type of protein which is released by fully developed fetus and the placenta itself. Now, when this factor is released, then there are some changes in the uterine wall. And I have to mention the name of that special layer which will help in this process. The name of layer is myometrium, which is having smooth muscles. When this signal or this factor is released, then the uterine wall or the myometrium, it receives those signals and starts undergoing mild contractions. The smooth muscles of the myometrium starts undergoing contraction phase, and these mild contractions also stimulate side by side release of oxytocin. The uterine wall also develop oxytocin receptors. What is this oxytocin? This oxytocin is the name of hormone which is known as birth hormone, and source of this hormone is actually posterior pituitary in our brain. So the signals have been initiated by the fetus and the placenta, and these signals are in the form of, first of all, they are going to release this factor. They will start inducing changes in the uterine myometrium, and there is a rise of mild contraction and release of a little amount of oxytocin. When the blood is going to carry all these signals, means this factor, this little amount of oxytocin, when these signals they are received by the posterior pituitary, it will get the signal that the time of parturition has come, and now this signal will stimulate the posterior pituitary to release more and more amount of oxytocin. Means the little amount of oxytocin was released by here, these fetus or this placenta, but now the major contribution is going to take place by the posterior pituitary. Actually, the source of oxytocin is the posterior pituitary. So, the secretion of the posterior pituitary gland it has increased and start rapid contractions in this myometrial wall of the uterus. Because the signals have first of all initiated by the fetus, that's why this type of reflex is known as fetal ejection reflex. Fetal ejection reflex is actually a sort of signal that will stimulate posterior pituitary gland to release its content, that is the oxytocin or the birth hormone. Now let's study the process of or the steps of parturition process. General steps of parturition. The first step is known as the dilation phase. Dilation phase includes dilation of this cervix region because it is the space through which this fetus has to come out. There is cervix and then there is vagina. So these two areas, they have to expand themselves. So under the influence of oxytocin hormone, first of all, in dilation phase, the uterine cavity or the endometrial layer holding this or covering this fetus, it undergoes hypoxia, means the blood vessels, they get contracted and the uterine wall, this decidua part, it undergo hypoxia, means the supply of oxygen is reduced here because now it has to be shed off. So in dilation phase, there are rapid contractions and relaxation of the uterine wall. Second thing is, there is hypoxia conditions created in this decidual wall. Okay. Third thing is that because of this contraction phase, this fetus is pushed towards the cervix region, which is dilated, and this dilation is accompanied by, or it is actually supported by, a hormone from the ovary also, which is known as relaxin. The relaxin hormone is not only helping in dilation of cervix and the vagina, but it is also helpful in losing the connective tissue present in between the pubic symphysis. So the cervix, vagina, they get dilated, that's why they are known as the dilation phase, and this fetus is forced to move through this cervix part. And during this forceful process, this amniotic cavity, amniotic membrane which is surrounding this embryo and this cavity, it is now going to be ruptured. Means this membrane will rupture, and this ruptured membrane will release all the fluid, amniotic fluid, which is also known as the water, and this liquid will be expelled out first of all, and then this fetus passes up to the cervix and then the vagina part. This is the dilation phase part, and then second stage is expulsion phase. Expulsion phase, where because of strong contractions process, this fully grown fetus will be expelled outside through the vagina part. When this fetus will be moved outside or expelled outside forcefully, then this structure, umbilical cord which is connecting it to this uterine wall or this decidua or this placenta part, it will be cut off so that the blood supply can be seized off, and this uterus wall is also expelled outside. The third part is after birth. After giving birth to this fetus, now we can call it baby, there is also expulsion of this placenta part, because there is no need of this decidua or this placenta here now, so it will be also released along with fetus, means it will take place after the birth of, expulsion of this placenta will take place after birth of the fetus, and that's why it is after birth, and it takes place near about 10 to 45 minutes later when the birth of fetus has taken place. When this fetus is expelled outside, then there are some major changes which are going to take place in its body, because when it was in the uterus or in connection with the mother's body, then it was totally dependent for oxygen supply, means the gases exchange was taking place with the mother's blood. But now it has to be independent. So when it is expelled outside, then at that completion of that expulsion phase only, it is going to breathe by its own. The first breathing take place by expansion of its lungs, and there are changes in its circulatory systems also. And this complete circulatory system changes, respiratory changes are supported by release of a gaseous hormone nitric oxide. It is necessary to expand the lungs so that air can be filled up and it can breathe by its own. That's why it is necessary to make the baby cry when it has taken its birth. Immediately it has to fill the air in its lungs. Otherwise, there will be problematic situation. So this is how the dilation phase, this whole content is going to push towards the cervix and the vaginal part, and then expulsion means it will be expelled outside from the body, and after birth means all the tissues which were temporarily formed in pregnancy time, they are also expelled outside. This is, as I told you, completely linked with release of the oxytocin hormone, the birth hormone, that has stimulated the contraction phase, that has helped to force this fetus to move outside. But because oxytocin release was stimulated, means the gland, posterior pituitary gland was stimulated by the fetus and placenta itself, that's why we have said that this is a actually fetal ejection reflex. So this is the process of parturition, and I hope this lecture is clear to you.